Port Sunlight was built in 1888 to house William Lever's soap factory workers, and its 900 houses, set in 130 acres of parkland, are a far cry from the filthy hovels of Little Ireland. In fact, it's one of the finest surviving examples in Britain of early urban planning.
Even today, Port Sunlight is a pristine haven of tranquility and order. The houses are built with generous proportions and in fine materials. William Lever must have been an exceptional philanthropist.
I'm meeting Lionel Bolland, Chief Executive of the Port Sunlight Village Trust.
Welcome to Port Sunlight. Thank you very much. Why did William Lever build Port Sunlight, and why here?
Well, he needed a site for a factory because he wanted to expand his soap production, and he wanted to realise a dream, which was to build an environment community for his factory workers. He wanted to see his workforce prosper, and this was cheap land, marshy, riddled with tidal inlets and ravines, but superbly located because it had a port at one side with access to the sea, and it had a railway line on the other from which he could draw sidings into the factory. In fact, just over there is one of the original entrances into the factory.
The desire to improve living standards for his workers had its roots in William's early ambition to be an architect, but his father insisted that he become involved in the family grocery business. Looking at Port Sunlight, there's no doubt that William was able to apply his ideas about architecture and society.
Lever obviously provided a lot of public space. What other facilities are there in the village?
Well, he built a cottage hospital so that anybody who worked for Lever Brothers would have free medical attention, free schooling, of course up to the age of 12. At 12 you would have gone and worked, taken a job. There was an institute technical college for those that wanted to better themselves. And in 1907 there was a social study done. The infant mortality rate in Port Sunlight was a half what it was in Liverpool.
Providing that level of care and commitment was possible only thanks to Lever's prodigious ability as a businessman. By the 1890s, his factory had become one of the biggest soap suppliers in the world.
This looks like examples of his marketing. What's this about, £1,000?
In 1885, he put a £1,000 reward up for anybody who could find an impurity in Sunlight soap. Now, that was an astonishing fortune. A year's salary for a factory worker at that time would have been about £100. Nobody ever successfully claimed that £1,000.
This was an advertising gimmick.
Of course, and that's what he was so astonishingly good at.
This looks like the original product, is that right?
Indeed it is. This is from one of the early boils of soap.
And was this for the body or for washing clothes?
It was actually both, and that was quite significant. One of the important features of it was very mild because of what it was made of, and you could use it as a household soap for washing yourself and also for washing clothes.
Washing clothes in the 19th century was a demanding physical activity, which began with grating your own soap.
It's quite slow work, isn't it, getting this grated? Look at those luscious suds.
And of course, that was one of its great features. It lathered very well.
Made from coconut and palm oil, Sunlight's slogan was, "Mild because it's pure."
Twist it one way and then the other, quite vigorously.
All right, Lionel, I'm doing it quite vigorously. Now, what you would very quickly get here would be blisters all over your hands, wouldn't you? Right, let's consider that done. As any housewife will tell you, Sunlight washes whiter.
It does indeed.
Lever had business acumen, compassion and imagination. His philanthropy has often since been ridiculed for its paternalism because the people housed on his model estates were required to conduct orderly lives governed by Christian rules. Marx might not have been impressed, but I suspect that Lever's workers were grateful.